Hello, my name is Julia Onel and I'm a naturalist at Walter B. Jacobs Memorial Nature Park, which is one of Caddo Parish parks. Welcome to an Introduction to Acrylic Painting program. Today we're going to paint a barred owl. I printed a photograph of a barred owl from the internet. This is what we're gonna paint. And we're going to paint it on a canvas 8x10. And the brushes that we're going to be needing are 19mm flat brush, number 8 flat brush, number 2 flat brush, and a liner, and a medium size angular brush. The paints that we're going to need are permanent black, titanium white, and burnt umber, and very little yellow for the beak. As usual, after I choose the photograph that we are going to be painting, I made a sketch, and for you, to make it easier for you, I put some proportion indicators. This is totally 7.5 inch, and it will fit just right in this one. It will be kind of like this in the middle. And the head from the top to the neck, where the curve is 2 inches. And the body is 4 inches, but 2 by 2, if you think. And then the tail, the visible part of the tail from our angle is 1.5 inches. And then we're going to put a branch. Don't worry about drawing the branch. After we paint the whole owl, we're going to do the trees and branches around them. It's kind of going to be like this. Okay, if you're ready, let's begin. You can start by sketching your owl with the proportions that I indicated. The head 2 inches, the body 2 inches and 2 inches. The middle part in 2 inches will be the widest part. It will be just a little bit wider than the head, and tail 1.5 inches. And then a facial disc and eyes, and the beak would be good enough. Don't worry about the rest. We're going to paint the background and the branches after we are done with the owl. Okay, I'm going to paint the background gray. Just paint around your owl sketch as the background. Leave the owl unpainted. I'm going to paint my owl silhouette in white. I'm just going to eyeball the proportions. Facial disc first, lightly. Barred owls are nocturnal bird of prey. They catch their prey with their powerful feet. They have 4 toes with huge talons and a hooked beak, which are basic characteristics of birds of prey. Right in the middle, barred owl's eyes are dark brown. They look like black, but they are not black. They are very dark brown. They are very common in northwest Louisiana, in our area. They are the second biggest owl we have in Louisiana. The biggest one is great horned owl. If you have tall trees in your backyard or if you live in the country, you will hear barred owl calls. Barred owl calls sound like they're saying, "Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all?" Like a true Southerner, it says you all. I'm going to try to imitate a barred owl call for you all now, kind of like this. I'm mixing black and burnt umber to make a darker brown, almost blackish brown. The top of this is... The facial discs of an owl have very important function. They do the same thing as our outer ears, which is to pick up the sound waves and channelize them into the inner ear. Owls' ears are on each side of the head at the same level with their eyes, and they're just two holes covered with a flap of skin with feathers. Owls have a third eyelid, which is called an nictitating eyelid, which is in fact a transparent membrane. It's a protective layer. The beak is yellow. Each side of the beak there will be dark feathers. What? I'm going to paint this body totally white. And we're going to paint everything on white. These brown feathers right at the tip of its beak makes the bird look like it is pouting. The color I'm using for these feathers is burnt umber, and I'm painting it with a liner brush. Please note that these little feathers on the head are not straight lines. They're all curved little lines. And these feathers on the neck, which are horizontal lines, are squiggly lines, kind of like number 3 sideways. Now we're going to do the color. These lines are not haphazard. There's one right here, and then a big one right here, and then a bigger one right here. And then there's a small one right here. Okay, we're going to do the same here. There's one right next to the eye, and then a thick one right next to that one, thick and a longer one, and then another one right here. These lines inside the facial disc are made up of tiny feathers, row after row, and the owl can move these feathers to fine tune, to figure out exactly where the sound of the prey is coming from. They locate the prey with the help of these tiny feathers in the facial disc. And then there are some bristle feathers right here. These are their sensory organs, in fact. They help him to pick up the sound waves. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put some whites. Let's make the beak shiny a little bit. The beak, okay. And there are some white patches here, whiter bristles. This is really, this part is bright white. The barred owl got its name from the brown markings on its chest, which are brown bars, vertical as opposed to the horizontal ones on its neck. I'm going to paint the tree with the angular brush. It is going to be a birch, which will be gray with white and black markings, little lines and scars. After painting these branches in the background, I'm going to paint the ones in the background, which I'm painting right now. When I'm done and when they are dry, I'm going to paint over them with diluted white to make them kind of blurry and look like they're in the distant, in a foggy forest. Okay, this is very diluted white now. I don't want these branches in the background look very clear. I want them look blurry, and that's why I'm going over them now with very diluted white. You can leave your background branches the way they are if you don't want them to look blurry or in the distance, and just leave them as they are. It's totally up to you. Okay, we have to put some feathers that are falling on the branch there. In the photograph, we can't see the feet of the owl because it is puffed up and its feathers are falling over its feet and onto the branches. So that's what I'm doing now. I hope you enjoyed painting your barred owl. Thank you for joining me and see you next time. And Happy New Year in 2021. See you next year.